Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Nerdgazim Hour. I'm your host, Travis Jones. I want to welcome you, all the YouTube subscribers that are watching right now. Hello, how you doing? I'm Travis. I'm the biggest 240-pound nerd you've ever met in your life. I guarantee it. I want to welcome again my Periscope viewers. They've been with me for about the previous 4 to 5 minutes. We've been going over some stuff. They see the before the magic happens with this high-tech operation that I run here. But no, I was telling them we've got a lot of stuff to go over today. We've got some great comic books to talk about, as usual. Not a huge week for me, but a decent week. You know, it was a $40, $50 week maybe. So you know, not too bad. But we've got a lot of other stuff to go over. The reason I'm having the show a little bit earlier tonight, I'm going to see Antman tonight with my buddy Sam at 10 o'clock tonight. I've been trying to stay off the internet. I didn't want to be spoiled about anything. I got my Scott Lang in the background. I was sitting over here on Mjolnir. If you can see, follow my finger. Follow my finger. Look at that. Look, see, I got old Scott Lang behind me. He's chilling out, co-hosting the show in the Nerdgazim Hour. I got people on this show, man. I got celebrities. This is some big shit. Segue, transition, might like that. I'm going to try transitions from now on. I think they work. Transitioning right into that. There's some big news for the show. Let me see. Nothing is definite yet. Nothing is set in stone. But for the guys out there that play Marvel's Avengers Alliance, I'm sure you're aware of the podcast From the Helicarrier. It's a really great show about the video game that we play. I've been listening to it for several months, probably over a year since I've been playing the Facebook game. I've been in contact with Charles Epic Boss McFall. We had a great conversation at length. He watched a few episodes of the show, and he liked what he's seen. He likes the show, and they are getting ready to rebrand From the Helicarrier into a larger umbrella of shows that fall underneath it. Marvel's Avengers Alliance show, From the Helicarrier, will be one of them, of course. The Marvel Cinematic Universe. They're going to have another show called Panel by Panel that's hosted by Charles. Abbott, Klotz are all going to have shows on there that deal with comic book related thing. And I believe the name is going to be Giant Size Team Up. Which is pretty cool because all the old comic book fans know that when you seen Giant Size Team Up on a comic book, you bought it. You dug in your pocket and you got that extra 20 cents because they were about 35 cents in, and then they went to 55 cents for the giant size because it was giant size. It cost you 20 more cents. So you dug in your pocket and you got that 20 cents out, or you bugged your mom till she gave it to you, and you got the Giant Size Team Up, which I think that's a great name. So with that, I may be changing the name of this show, only because there is already a Nerdgazim group on Facebook. It's spelled with an S and not a Z. But I kind of want to get away from that. I want to get something that's my own, something easy to find. If you're not a part of the Comic Jacked Facebook group, join it today. Comic Jacked. I have a poll running on there right now. I've got some early names that I just kind of spitballed and put up there. One of them I really like, and it's not getting any votes for right now. So I don't know what we're going to do about that. But I'm definitely going to use that. The low man that doesn't get any votes is booted out. So we're going to go from there, and hopefully Charles McFall and those guys can give me some direction and getting a good name to be with the rebranding. So good news, right? You know, more viewers, more listeners, and that's the whole reason I started this show. Is I want to get new listeners. I like old listeners too. Y'all my people, man. Y'all family. But you know, I want to reach a group of people that are on the cusp, if you will, of joining nerddom. They like it. They love the movies. They talk to their friends at work about the comic books that their friends read, but they don't take that next step. Okay, they don't take the first sip of the nectar of the God's juice, which is the comic books. And that's what I kind of want to do. I want to get people into comic book shops. And maybe not even comic book shops. During Charles and I's discussion, we talked about your free public library. If you don't know where your free public library is, find it. I guarantee you it's closer to you than you think it is. There's several. Some of them are very, very good. Where I live at in Louisville, Kentucky, we have a great downtown free public library. The Louisville Free Public Library is great. Portland has a great free public library. And the reason I'm mentioning this is because they have a huge comic section. So you could go check out a book or read it there at the library. You could get a comic book there. It would be awesome. It wouldn't cost you a dime, and you could break yourself in on free shit. What is better than breaking yourself in on free shit? Nothing. Nothing's better than that. So try that. Go to your free public library. Look at some trade paperbacks. Now, I had a friend in this conversation that I had, a guy I work with at the firehouse. He didn't know what a trade paperback was. And I use the term all the time. I'm sure you guys do too. Because it's secondhand to us. It's second nature. We know what it is. But to somebody that's never heard of it, they're like, what the fuck is that? All right, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you what a trade paperback looks like. Now, this is one that I bought for a friend of mine for a birthday present. He didn't watch the show, so it's okay. But this is The Injustice Gods Among Us. This is volume 1, actually. Yep, this is volume 1. This is a hardback. Okay, you don't have to get them in hardback. They're a little bit more expensive, but they're a lot nicer. See how nice that looks, man? This is a really, really good storyline. I like it immensely, and so did he. He actually got, this is actually the wrong book. I meant to get him year 3, and I picked up year 1 by accident. Year 3's not out yet. So if you're looking for year 3, don't. But he loved year 1. I got him reading year 1. He loved it, and he's continued to collect it. And he gets the trades. He didn't go to the comic book shop, but he collects the trades, and that's fine. That's great. That's all I want. I want to expose people to as much of this stuff as I can. Now, going back to the story that I mentioned earlier for my Periscope viewers, a friend of mine, we were talking, and he had went into one of our local comic book shops and said, went to get help, of course, because he walked in. I know what story he's talking about. It's a very small place, and it's packed. It's jam-packed with stuff. And I mean, it's really awesome stuff. So I used to go there when I was a kid. I mean, when I did something really good in school, which wasn't very often, this is where my dad took me to say, hey, man, good job. You're not as big as I thought you were. Go spend $20. And I was just like, oh, my God, freaking out. So he walks into this place and goes up to a guy expecting some help, because that's what a service does, right? Provides customer service. But anyway, he asked for help, and the guy said, well, what do you like? And he said, I don't know what I like. And that, we think, bullshit, you know what you like, but you may not. And what I mean by that is, you may like Marvel movies, but like, okay, you like Spider-Man. Hey, man, I like Spider-Man. Oh, well, here, come here. Here's Peter Parker, Tales of Spider-Man. Here's the Spider-Man. Here's Spider-Verse. Here's Spider-Gwen. Here's Spider-Janitor. Here's Spider-Dude. Here's the dude in the hood that is supposed to be a Spider-Man. It can be overwhelming, is my point. So, and I just happen to look over and see that on Periscope. I do like Spider-Man, damn it. I've said this before. I do not collect Spider-Man. I like Spider-Man as a support character. He's just not one of my favorites. I'm sorry. Hey, man, I've got a limited amount of money to spend each week, and Spider-Man books just don't make the cut for me. I'm sorry. I do want to check out Spider-Gwen. You guys have pushed that on me so much. I'm going to wait for the trade. I promise when the trade comes out in the collection, I will get Spider-Gwen and tell you what I think about it on the show. So, in saying that, getting back to the story, this guy basically scoffed at my buddy because he didn't know what he liked. Was an asshole to him. My buddy said, man, I walked around for a few minutes and I left. And I've seen that happen before. I think that we as nerds we've coveted this position, and we've been made fun of and berated for it for a lot of our lives. And now that it's the hottest thing around, everybody wants to get into it, and it's kind of like our thing. I think some people think, man, this is my thing. I don't want some tourist coming in and checking it out. This is where I come. All right, well, that's a bad way to look at it, fellas. Not saying my viewers look at it that way, but we need everybody in this. You know, I know there's a lot of people, traditional Comic-Con people, that are pissed off because Hollywood has kind of taken over Comic-Con. Well, if it weren't for Hollywood, we wouldn't be having all this cool shit. So suck it up, Buttercup. It's the way it is, and I'm thankful for it. I want everything to succeed. And going into that, we're going to talk about the book reviews today. Of course, that's the main goal of my show. I want to give you an idea of what you might like. So when you walk in your comic book shop, you go, "Hey man, Secret Wars #1," and dude goes, "It's over there," and be like, "Yeah, thanks, fucker," and you smack him, and you fucking run over, you get your Secret Wars, and you run out, okay, because that's all you know. But you know, I've talked about Secret Wars. I think Secret Wars is a great book that anybody would like. It's got great art. It's got great writing direction in it. It's got a big story, and it's a story that's self-contained. Yeah, if you want to read all the other Battle World stuff and Secret Wars stuff, you're going to have a better idea of what's going on in that book. But at this point, I don't think that's necessary. So, yeah, it's probably going to be my Nerdgasm pick of the week every week, just because it's been that freaking awesome. So, because my friend asked me that. He goes, "Well, your Nerdgasm pick of the week, is that a good book, or maybe it was just a shitty week and you just picked it?" I will never give a shitty book the Nerdgasm pick of the week. Even if it's a bad week, there just won't be a Nerdgasm pick. Because I want you to spend your money on something that you're going to like. I don't give a shit if it's $3, $4, $5, $10, $20. Every buck in your pocket means something to you, and a lot of us don't have money just to throw around on bullshit. So the Nerdgasm pick is my seal of approval. It's the book that I think, and it's just me, okay, opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one and they all stink, and that's just my opinion, that I think you'll like this book. It's got great art, everything you want in a comic book. I think this satisfies that need. So the Nerdgasm pick of the week, I've been lucky since I've been doing the show. There's always been a book that I'm like, yeah, a new reader can get in on this book and like it for what it is and not know anything about it. So now, if I have a Nerdgasm pick that you think, that book was terrible, hit me up. Tell me why you thought it was bad. And I might go, man, you're right. That may have taken a lot more, let me think, a lot more knowledge in the comic book world to understand that story than what I gave it credit for. Because I've been in this so long, sometimes I'm immune to that. So help me help the Nerdgasm pick be a good one each week. And then we're going to talk about some movie rumors and stuff. I want to talk about Antman, of course, because a lot of people are confused, I think, about this not being Pym, Hank Pym. It's Scott Lang, of course, which a lot of people aren't familiar with. There's not a lot of resource material, to be honest, because I actually went looking. And I want to talk about the new Suicide Squad trailer. I thought the promo was terrible. We're going to get into that. All right, I'm starting to jump ahead already. Okay, so go to your public library. Nerdgasm pick of the week. If you hear me say one, it's usually a pretty good pick that week. So don't be afraid to go in your comic book shop, ask for it, buy it, and get out. And then maybe the next time you'll stay a little bit and look around. Okay, on to the book reviews. Okay, I'm going to do Squadron Sinister. This is my first book I'm going to review this week. Now, the reason I got Squadron Sinister is because I'm a big Hyperion fan. Now, this is not the Hyperion from the Squadron Supreme. This is a totally different Hyperion. And for people that don't know much about Squadron Sinister, think of an evil Justice League. You got an evil Batman, you got an evil Superman, you got an evil Wonder Woman, you got an evil Flash. There you go. If any of y'all are familiar with the Justice League Earth 2, what is it, Sinister Squadron or whatever it was, they were the evil Justice League. This is Marvel's version, okay? But I love Hyperion. I love what Hickman done with him in the Avengers, with him and Thor becoming like brothers and boys. And man, I hope after Secret Wars is over, I hope they end up getting a book by themselves, because I would buy the shit out of that, man. But this book is really, it's really interesting. Only from the simple fact is, there's no definite good guy. You've got this isn't really a spoiler, but you've got two people in Squadron Sinister that are conspiring against the evil Hyperion. He's still Hyperion, so we're going to call him that for clarification's sake. Now, the good thing about this book is I'm trying to figure out who's got the better plan to double cross who. Now in this issue, it explains that both of them know. Now, from last issue, we had a member of the Thor Corps that came down to talk to Hyperion and tell him that, hey, there's been a lot of violence down here. Doom has taken notice. I'm down here to check things out. Hyperion's like, you're fine. I don't care. But the whole time, Hyperion and them have been going around and taking over providences in their domain, like by force, like literally. Like, this book is brutal. A lot of violence, a lot of fatalities, a lot of people just getting blown to bits. He's evil Superman, so you can imagine how tough this guy is. Now, something happens to this Thor Corps member, and it's looking really bad on Hyperion. And people are like, look, dude, you need to fix this because when Doom finds out, your ass is grass. So he's in the process of trying to figure out who is in his group that has set him up. He knows that somebody has set him up. He actually has a really interesting conversation with Mr. Sinister, who is a baron of his own domain. And I believe they have something going on the side that hasn't materialized yet. It's just something I foresee happening in the book. But if you like Squadron Supreme, check this out, Squadron Sinister. If you like violence, this is a pretty good book. And if you like Justice League clones, there you go. All right. My next book I was very hyped about and I'm very happy with. It's The Guardians of Nowhere, #1. Okay. It's Brian Michael Bendis and Mike Deodato. Mike Deodato is an amazing artist. I love his artwork. I love his use of black. I love his action sequences. His like when somebody gets hit and they go through a wall, it's like you just I don't know. It's so visual. It's so powerful. You actually kind of like oh shit. So it's awesome stuff. I know some people aren't fans of Bendis. I think Bendis is hit or miss for me. But I love the way Bendis puts a story together. Sometimes it's dialogue, I think it's kind of hokey, but he really knows how to write Rocket Raccoon. And that was one of the best parts of this book is basically Angela. Now, I've said this every episode because when I started this podcast, Secret Wars had basically just started. So the Marvel Universe, as you knew it 20 years ago, if you're just tuning in, is no longer. It is no more. The multiverse has collapsed. Doctor Doom and Doctor Strange saved it. And what they did was they saved pieces of the universe and created basically a synthetic, an artificial world where Doom is the All-Father. And that's what they call him even. The All-Father, Doctor Doom. So he has barons that run each segment. And what they are segments that are pulled out of the Marvel Universe. Squadron Sinister. I've got a book over here called A-Force. We have, oh my God, there's so many of them. We had the Badlands. We have the Wastelands. We have the Marvel Zombies. We have all these areas that come into play. So you can Google it, and there's a map, and it's awesome. So, and that'll keep you kind of up to date what's going on. Now, in this, we have Angela, who we all know before the Secret Wars happened, was traveling with the Guardians. Okay, her and Gamora were like sisters in arms. They were going around pounding everybody. Okay, pretty tough little duo there. Well, the book takes you to Nowhere. Nowhere is a celestial head, and the story is a celestial god came down to destroy the world, and Doom severed his head and put it out in space as a message to everybody of his immense power. So, okay, we all know that's probably bullshit. But anyway, that's the world he's constructed. So maybe it did happen that way. So we see Angela showing up into Nowhere. Nowhere is the headquarters of the Guardians of the Galaxy. This celestial head, it's huge. It's like the size of a planet. So she goes in there. She's looking for Gamora. She finds Drax. Drax is basically drinking himself to death. Why, we do not know yet. And she's like, tell me where she is. And Drax is like, you know I can't do that. And a big battle commences. And when I talk about people getting put through walls, this is what I'm talking about. The artwork is great. This battle is really, really cool. Gamora, man, she's to be contended with in the Marvel Universe. She's got some skills. And we all know how tough Drax is. Well, Rocket kind of comes in and kind of saves the day for a minute, kind of whisks them away to where they can talk about what's going on. Now, this is where it gets confusing. Gamora, before Secret Wars, was... how can I say this? She had came in contact with a thing called the Black Vortex. Black Vortex was a storyline that ran through X-Men and Guardians a few months ago. She basically became a cosmic being. Alright, now, whatever Doom and Strange did, it didn't change Gamora like it should have. Gamora still has these cosmic abilities, and she knows this world's fake. So that's what tells me that this book is going to play a big part in whatever happens with the decline of Secret Wars and Battle World. So she's telling Drax and Rocket, this world isn't our world. And they're like, what are you talking about? Of course it is. You know, you're supposed to run nowhere. You keep believing. Now Angela has been dispatched by Doom to bring your head. And she's like, this isn't our world. And she's kind of like not all there. Well, then something happens. I don't want to spoil it. And we've got a new character I think is new. I've never heard of him. I was going to Google it, and I'm like, nah, I'm not even going to Google it. I'm not even going to do that because I know this dude's new. So he's a really, really cool looking, but I'll save that for you to see. It's pretty neat what happens, the conversation that transpires after that. But Guardians of Nowhere, if you're a Guardians of the Galaxy fan, this is your jam. If you like the movies, this is your jam. The characters are pretty much still the same characters that we know from the movies. So Guardians of Nowhere #1, great artwork, good story. Check it out. All right. Now, we've got one of my favorites, Planet Hulk. Now, there's Devil and Captain Steve Rogers. Everybody knows I'm a big Cap fan. All right, basically this book is Doom has dispatched Captain America and his pet dinosaur, Devil. It's so awesome. I mean, it's like I can't even say it with a straight face because it's so awesome. Because, you know, who else would have a pet dinosaur other than Cap? No, nobody. Nobody would have a pet dinosaur. Cap does. Well, Doom has sent him into the Gamma lands to kill the Red King. He sent Bucky Barnes, which was a part of Steve Rogers, and he was in the Super Soldier program. Something would happen. Something went really bad. They ended up being separated, maybe. We're not sure, because when we see Cap in the first issue of this, he's in a gladiatorial arena, him and Devil, and they're like taking on monsters and shit. It was pretty awesome. So Doom basically said, look, I have an emissary in the Gamma Lands. Meet him. Dispatch the Red King. You can have your freedom. So basically we're in issue 3 now, and Doc Green was Doom's emissary. He and Steve Rogers and Devil are transversing the Gamma Lands, fighting all kinds of gamma-irradiated monsters, and looking for the Red King. So they're trying to get to his domain without being, noticed. They're trying to be stealthy about it. But you got a freaking T-Rex with you. So, I mean, come on. But anyway, it's a great story. And what I liked about this issue is it's been a lot of action, which I really like. I mean, it's the 12-year-old in me. I really like the action. But Doc Green and Steve Rogers start to have a pretty much a philosophical conversation about, well, what are you going to do when you meet the Red King? You're going to kill him. And Cap's like, no, I'm not killing him. Doom can do his own killing. Basically, Cap's there for one thing. That's to get Bucky back. Okay? Well, Doc's like, well, once you see all the horrors that the Red King has done on his people, your moral compass might change a little bit. And the whole time it's kind of like Steve Rogers is talking to himself, and he's like, God, this guy, well, he's not shut up, you know? And I can't tell if he's just really irritated by and Doc Green talks a little weird in this. I'm not sure it's Doc Green from our Marvel Universe, maybe from another dimension. But, you know, he does talk kind of strange, but I think it's getting at Steve. Like, because he was a soldier. And I don't know if he's there's a lot to find out. These characters still need to be fleshed out. I think they're doing a great job. Mark Humphreys is a great writer, and I think they're doing a really good job of mixing the dialogue and action, because you'll have some good dialogue and you're like, ooh, that's interesting. What'd that mean? And then they're attacked by a giant gamma irradiated fish that comes out of the water, and they're fighting for their life. And at the end of this, it was kind of like, oh, crap. Like, I didn't see that coming. So I'm really curious on these. They're called the Tribal Hulks. And this is the first time we've seen them, and they look really neat. And I'm digging this, man. I'm digging Planet Hulk. If you're a Captain America fan, I mean, I say this every episode. Every week this comes out. It's Cap and a dinosaur. I mean, it's $3.99, man. Come on, give it a shot. Give issue 1 a shot, and if you like it, go back and get the other two. But Planet Hulk, it was one of my favorite titles of the week. All right, now getting to one of my other favorite titles of the week. This was an unexpected hit for me. Hail Hydra. If you can see that guy right there, he's got a Cap shield, but it don't look like Cap, right? Yeah, because it's not. It is his son. Now, he's going by Nomad, but his name is Ian, and Cap basically raised him in Dimension Z from MODOK. It was basically, this is MODOK's biological son, if that makes any sense at all. I mean, he was, grown, obviously, but Cap raised him in Dimension Z for most of his life. Dimension Z's time was different. That's a great story to go back and read for Captain America fans, is the Dimension Z storyline, because a lot of what happened in Dimension Z still really bothers Cap today. Like, you'll see in his book, he's having flashbacks of what happened in Dimension Z with Ian. So this is really, really good book. Ian's basically dropped in the middle of a world. He's not sure how he got there, and he's looking for answers. He sees a guy spray painting on a wall. He goes over and grabs him. He's like, where the hell am I at? And this guy's like, man, get away from me. And then, like, boom, they're surrounded by, it looks like, Hydra agents. And they've got, like, these jetpacks and everything. Well, the guy's like, dude, you just do not know what you did. You doomed us. You doomed us all. And this guy's evidently been in trouble before. So Ian, not knowing really what's going on, he starts fighting, because that's what he's good at. He starts fighting, and he's trying to help this guy because he knows that's what Steve would want. He could have got away and tried to get back to where he was at, to the MODOK's elevator that he thinks brought him there to begin with. Not sure if that's what happened. I don't know. How they travel from dimension to dimension in this world, I know, is by what they call a Aldrak system, which he's an Inhuman. So, but I don't know if that's the same elevator he's talking about or not. It's kind of unclear. But basically, he doesn't. He goes to help. This guy gets captured. Ian goes to help him, and the whole time he's thinking about principles and morals that Cap had instilled in him, and how different he could have been if he would have grew up MODOK's son. Well, there's a big oh shit moment in this book, man. Like, I'm turning pages, I'm reading, I'm like, that's pretty good. And then I'm like, oh my God! Like, I couldn't believe it. It was shocked me, didn't see it coming at all, and it's really kind of sets the tone for this book, and I hope this book continues to do this. So a big, strong first issue for me, for Hail Hydra. I love this character. He's Cap related, so I'm gonna like him anyway. But this kid's he's got issues, and I don't want to say daddy issues, because he had a father, and Steve Rogers was his father. But he's confronted with something at the end of this book that makes him see what he could have been. What am I talking about? Well, get it and find out. Hydra #1. I would recommend it. If you're a comic book fan, if you're a comic book reader, go ahead and take a chance on it. I think you'll like it. I enjoyed it. Strong showing for it. All right, now our next book, A-Force. All right, now this book is basically, again, we're in Battle World. It's a domain ran by the She-Hulk, and she has a group of women with her. Nico Maru, Captain Carol Danvers, Medusa is another one, and it's all the hot chicks from Marvel, and they rule this place called Avalon. And for whatever reason, this place is very, very important to Doom. In the very first issue, he told She-Hulk, he's like, look, get your shit tight, because you know how important Avalon is to my vision. And she was like, I know. So I don't know if she really knows or she's just saying it because Doom said it. But it's I like this book. It's got pretty good art. They ended up coming across a child. Nico did. She reminds me like Captain Universe. She has, I don't know if she's incorporeal. I don't think she is. She got a little bow in her hair. Okay, but she looks like stars. It's like she's like sky, kind of like Captain Universe does. So, but she doesn't speak. And there's a portal that shows up. Some wackiness ensues. She helps out. But the rest of A-Force, Medusa in particular, is like, hey, look, we don't know who this chick is, but she needs to be brought to Doom. No one knows who she is. She just appeared out of nowhere. All this crazy shit's going on here. She's got to be responsible for it. Well, She-Hulk's like, look, for one thing, you ain't the boss. I am. And she's helped people, and we're going to help her. So another little battle ensues, and the girl takes her ribbon off and gives it to She-Hulk, and something happens. So I think this book potentially could have a lot to do with what's going on with Doom. Is this a reincarnation of Captain Universe, this little girl? I don't know. She has abilities. She looks like she might be pretty powerful, but we don't know yet. So good artwork. The story's pretty good. If you like the women of Marvel, the Marvel U, this is all you. For any women readers, it's really good. Strong females that are doing what they do, and they kick ass. So a great book, A-Force #2. So it's just in the second issue. Now, drum roll. Nerdgazim pick of the week. Yep, a DC book. What the hell? I know what you're saying. What the hell? Yep. Darkseid War Part 2. Now, if readers of my show, or I'm sorry, viewers of my show will know, Darkseid Part 1, I was stoked about. One of the best books I've read in a long time. When I say best books, I mean best single issue. A lot of stories are really good for me, but they span over several issues. The Part 1 was action. It was Mr. Miracle, which I didn't know a whole lot about. I'm a Marvel guy. Let's just get that out in the open. I'm a Marvel guy, but there's a lot about the DC universe I like. I just don't think a lot of it's been done very well. Movies, comic books, but the Darkseid War was. I mean, I loved it, so I was very hyped to see this book. And a couple of people had read the book, and I talked to them on Facebook, and like, have you read it yet? I'm like, no. They're like, oh, shit gets real. And they were right. It does. It gets real. We've got a lot going on. Luthor was shot last episode. What's Superman going to do? Is he going to help him? Is he not going to help him? We've got Darkseid, who's going to come to war. And he's wanting war. He's Darkseid. He's a badass. The Anti-Monitor has been brought to Earth, and he's wrecking shop right now. He wants to fight Darkseid. So basically, Earth's the battleground. So where's the Justice League fall in this? Well, they're trying to do what they do. They're trying to help. They're trying to save people. We've got some Justice League members that have been down since issue 1 that haven't really came back yet. That's how critical issue 1 was. Well, a guy shows up. Metatron shows up, and he has this chair, that is basically, if you sit in the chair, you're basically a god. And he shows up, and he's been in and out the DC universe. He's a big time player. He's basically like Marvel's Watcher. He watches over, he records things. Very seldom does he get into it, but if it's like the end of everything, then he's going to get into it because that's going to end him. And I can't spoil anything. This book is full of spoilers, full of old shit moments. The end, it was like, I knew this was coming, but I didn't know it was coming quite like this. So, because I'd heard rumors several months ago that this was going to happen. But I think a new reader, if you like the Justice League, if you like Superman, Batman, if the new trailer has you hyped and you want to get back into it, Dark Seed War, Justice League, Part 1, Part 2. Part 2 just came out this week. You still get Part 1. Get it. You're going to like it. Nerdgazim Pick of the Week. It's guaranteed. My stamp of approval, which means absolutely nothing. All right, now, I'm running a little over, but we're going to talk about some movie news right now. And right now, I heard something on the way in today, and I was kind of like, oh, man, that sucks. But I'm sure somebody's going to do it online. And that is Joss Whedon has came out and said that there will be no director's cut of Age of Ultron. Because we all know that there was some, some back and forth between him and the studio about Hawkeye, about the waters of sight that Thor went in. There was some give and take. They didn't want the waters of sight. They wanted the waters of sight. He wanted Hawkeye's home life, the farm scene in there, and it was kind of like a compromise, and that's what they came up with. But basically, I thought it was great because Joss Whedon said that I'm lazy, and that director's cut sounds like a lot of work. But he did say there's going to be a ton of extra stuff in the DVD. He did say there's going to be a lot of deleted scenes. So I'm sure we'll be able to piece it together. And I'm sure somebody online will piece it together. And it'll be great. But I thought, I was kind of looking forward to the director's cut. But no director's cut for Age of Ultron as of right now. I'm sure everybody has seen the Punishers on the set of Daredevil right now. And an interesting rumor that I heard today also is that possibly that he could be making an appearance in Civil War. Now, we all know that in the comic book, Punisher sided with Cap on the side of Civil War. He actually did some covert work for Cap. It didn't really end well for Punisher. I don't want to spoil anything if you haven't read Civil War. But, yeah, it didn't end well for him there. But anyway, I thought that was really cool. I would love to see Punisher in Civil War. Maybe even as a cameo appearance. There's so many people that are going to be in Civil War. I worry about just being. There's so many characters. I want everybody to have their time, their moment in the sun, and just not be filler. Don't put Punisher on the screen just to put him on a screen. Give him 2 minutes that are just really good 2 minutes. So possibly him, maybe even Daredevil in Civil War. Who knows? They're already filming season 2. So maybe we'll get another April release like we did this year. That would be awesome. That would be fucking great, man, because I love the Daredevil show, and I think they're just going to amp it up even more. So I like the gritty, dark feel to it. And speaking of gritty and dark feels, the Suicide Squad trailer. Now, let me say, when they cut that promo shot for Comic-Con, I've seen cosplayers do it better, guys. I mean, it looked terrible. The only one that looked good was Margot Robbie, and you could put a paper bag on her and she would look good. But I thought Will Smith looked like crap. I thought they all looked like crap. So it wasn't a very good promo shot. Now, what can you take from that? Not a lot, evidently, because when I watched the trailer, they give you that creepy music. They give you that dark feel. Amanda Waller's just painting this bleak picture about, I threw him down a hole and threw the hole away. I thought that was pretty good. But man, I was pretty stoked. Not gonna lie. Margot Robbie looks amazing as Harley Quinn. I mean, when she's walking around with the baseball bat on her back, I'm like, that's just badass, man. And really, a Batman appearance? She steals the Batmobile? Holy shit. If they were worried about people going to see the movie, they don't have to worry anymore. And I like how they're tying it in. They're doing just what Marvel has done. They're creating continuity in their movies, and that's what we've always wanted out of DC. And, we knew they were going to start that with Man of Steel. And she even says maybe the Man of Steel gave them a banner to get under, because, they heard that there are superpowered people in the Suicide Squad. So, and then, like I said, you got Batman cameo. So this is really, really good stuff. I love the creepy vibe. I love the dark, edgy. I like this. A lot of people are like, oh, it's been done. The Dark Knight did it. Well, The Dark Knight did it, and they did it well, and I like it. I like adult-themed stuff. I think in a real-world setting where there would be costume heroes or costume vigilantes or a Suicide Squad, I mean, let's be real. Do you think that there aren't something like that going on now? I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist at all, but, I mean, these people have nothing, and they have skill sets. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time the government took basically somebody that was a psychopath but had great skill set as a killer and used them to their advantage. I mean, come on. And if something happens to them, oh, well, who? I didn't know that guy. You know what I mean? Plausible deniability. So I like this tone that they're taking with it. So, all right, and the Joker. Let's talk about the Joker for a minute. Now, I seen it today. Today's been a big day for me, if you couldn't tell. And I see somebody Comic Jack posted, which I was really glad because I was about to post it. A friend sent it to me through a text. But there is a fan theory going on about the Joker. Now, Periscope, if you feel me, give me some hearts right now if you've seen this. Have you seen the fan theory about the Joker? Man, as I was reading it, I was getting cold chills. I was like, holy shit! And then they take a scene from the Batman vs. Superman trailer, and then they put it with something else, and I was like, and then something that even Bruce says in the trailer about 20 years where the good people are the good people still in Gotham, and it's like, oh shit. So man, but I'm gonna tell you why this isn't gonna happen, because it's masterful and it's genius, and DC won't do it. They won't do it. It's kind of like Coulson, the rumor that Coulson was going to be the Vision. Remember, I lost my one good eye and all that shit that Nick Fury said when Coulson died. And everybody thought, oh, Coulson's the Vision. Coulson's the Vision. I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't know how they was going to pull it off, but I thought it was pretty cool in the rumor mill. But this is pretty cool too. Hopefully it happens. We'll see. Shit. Now, Jai Courtney. If you go, who? This is why. He's not a good actor. I basically blasted him in the last show for the Terminator Genesis movie. He played Kyle Reese. He played Kyle Reese. Everything he's been in, he hasn't been good, and the movie's actually been worse. Is that possible? There's probably a correlation there, I'm sure. But he looks great. He has a great look. He's Captain Boomerang in the Suicide Squad. Now I'm going to tell you why I just now realized this, because I was rewatching the trailer to refresh myself for the show, and I realized that he's Captain Boomerang. So I was like, oh, shit. So, hey, Ja, I hope this is your breakout, buddy, because you need to be in a superhero movie or supervillain or whatever you want to be, because you have a great look. I hope he does a great job. I didn't realize he was Captain Boomerang till today. So, go on, Courtney. Go on with yourself. All right. Now, I'm going to talk about this one, because I ain't happy about it at all, and I know some of y'all ain't either. The Apocalypse, X-Men The Apocalypse promo that pictures Magneto, Apocalypse, and Psylocke. Oh my God. Somebody in the Comic Jack, I believe it was Jimmy, he posted a picture with some cosplayers that went as Apocalypse, and they looked 1,000 times better than the movie Apocalypse did. So, okay, was it? Oh, all right. I thought that was you. Man, that was terrible. I'm worried to death for this movie, and I'm gonna say this. He hit it once, man. Bryan Singer is not good. He's not a good director. He hasn't done hardly anything that's good. The first X-Men, okay? The first X-Men was really good. All right? X-Men 2 had some great parts, but overall wasn't that good. The Superman movie that he did with Brandon Routh, holy shit. How did he get another job in Hollywood after that movie? So, I know he's a big fan, and I hate it for him because I want this movie to be great. But he's not good, and I'm worried to death for this movie. And let me tell you, if Wolverine's not in it, and I was on IMDb and just to see if Hugh Jackman was even listed in the credits, he is, and underneath it says rumored. He's rumored to be in it. Now, I don't. You guys probably know. I haven't seen anything definite that he's in it. I know he's stepping down from the Wolverine franchise, which sucks. I hope he does an old man Logan movie. That would be epic, epically awesome. But yeah, so what the hell, man? Get it together. That movie's in trouble. I feel. But I said this with Suicide Squad. The trailer come out. I said it with Fantastic Four when the first trailer come out, and they were promo shots. And we're like, oh, what the hell, Johnny Storm? What's he doing? And they're not even, are they brother and sister even? And Doom's a hacker. And well, come to find out, all that was crap. Doom's not just a hacker. Doom is going to be Doom, he should be. And I think the movie looks pretty good. It's got that dark look to it, which I dig. So I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that Sony can finally get one right. But no, you don't think so? Man, come on. We gotta keep our fingers crossed, man. We gotta keep our fingers crossed. I'm gonna go see it. I hope everybody that says they're not gonna go see it don't go, because I can have the movie theater myself on opening night. But I'm definitely gonna go see it. I think it looks fairly good. I'm gonna give it a shot anyway, and we'll see. But guys, that's about all I have for the show tonight. I'm going to, because I got to get ready. Like I said, I have Antman tickets, and I'm gonna grab me some grub before I go. But I'm gonna go see Antman. The next show, I'll have an Antman review for you. It probably will have some spoilers in it, but I'll tell you way before, so you can cut me off, so I don't ruin anything for you. But like I said, it won't be till next Friday, and I'm going tonight, so you got a week to see it. But guys, thank you so much. And like I said, possibly big things going on for the Nerdgasm Hour. Hopefully building the show, getting a better setup, maybe. Who knows? Might even get like an intro theme song. Wow, that'd be awesome, wouldn't it? An intro theme song. I don't know what the hell it would be. But we're going to get something going. And for all the guys that have helped me with names and promoting the show and everything, thank you. For all of my YouTube subscribers, my Periscope listeners, thank you. And Periscope guys, hang out, please, because I want to talk to you all. And that's it for the show. Thank you, guys. Nerdgasm out.